Andrei Dieu is a bodybuilder and is currently on prep and on other things. My name's Shay, I'm a nutritionist. Let's see what's going on. I think this will be quite interesting because we have very similar physiques.
So this is the protein source, and now we're gonna add the carb source. I go between the oatmeal in the morning or cream of rice, depends on the mood. Sometimes the oatmeal kind of makes me bloated, sometimes it doesn't. So today I feel like eating oats.
What's going on there? Well, oatmeal has a little bit of fiber, not a crazy amount, so why might it be causing the bloating? Well, if you have a habitually very low fiber diet, your gut microbiome, the bacteria that will usually metabolize the fiber start to die off because they're not really needed. So then when you reintroduce some fiber, then it can cause bloating because you don't have the means necessary to deal with it. So we'll see later, is this the case? Is he eating a very low fiber diet? Might that be the cause for some of the bloating when he does reintroduce some of the fiber? Let's find out.
80 grams of oats, and then I'm gonna be adding stevia, just to make it a little bit sweet, like a dessert. Okay, now let's do the eggs. I have 7 egg whites and 1 whole egg in the morning for extra fats.
I'm not a massive fan of egg whites. I've said it about protein powder before. It's quite similar here. It's got protein, but there's not really any additional like antioxidants or micronutrients involved there. It's kind of just the protein. Sure, egg whites have some B vitamins, but you're probably not deficient in those unless you're actually in a gulag. So I prefer the yolk that's got the stuff like the choline, the vitamins, D, E, and K. Most of the good stuff. I suppose if you are on prep, maybe you'd, I guess, want to limit fat because it's more calorie dense. But you still need fat because otherwise your hormones go all out of whack. It's a bit different if you're on gear, but
And of course, who doesn't like the yolk, right?
Dude, that looks so sad. Like, come on.
Normal omelette, right? Or you do scramble?
I do scramble, it doesn't matter, whatever is easy. No, I do scramble like this, bro. Hey, easy, bro, easy. 10-15 minutes, right work. Okay, and for extra fats, I need to add almond butter, 15 grams. Like, you mean like peanut butter? No, this is healthier, bro. You got me off guard here. I guess, in my opinion, I think this is healthier. This is healthier, I think. But I'm not sure, guys. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not trying to give you advice. What is better, what is...
I don't believe too much that almond butter is much better. I think peanut butter and almond butter are both fine. They're not too processed, and they're mostly just the nuts with some water, and almonds and peanuts both have decent quantity of protein and decent quantity of both minerals and also antioxidants. So pretty solid food in my opinion. I think people might just think almond butter is healthier because it's expensive and comes in a smaller jar. It feels a bit more premium, but peanut butter is fine too, dude.
Not, I'm just telling you how my diet is. Yeah, don't try this at home. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you've been following my my Instagram, but I started working with this clinic that they provide the peptides. So right now, what I'm taking for recovery and joints, ligaments. Sometimes when I do like heavy presses on chest or shoulder press, my right shoulder feels a little bit uncomfortable. So I've been using, this is my 2nd month on it, BPC 157, TB 500, they work together.
Did you ever listening to Joe Rogan and someone just brings anything up related to injury and Joe's just like, dude, peptides, man. No.
Also, I start using this last night. As you can see, it's pretty full. This is a night blend and relax blend. This right here, night blend, has melatonin, GABA, L-arginine, and L-glutamine. And then same relax blend, it has GABA, L-arginine, L-taurine, L-glutamine, L-theanine, and magnesium. So these two, I take it before bed, not every day.
Gosh, is he injecting those too? Like, he's injecting the gear, the peptides, and these. Guy just loves needles. I'm not the biggest fan of sleep aids. I'm just a little bit afraid of dependencies when you're getting into things like melatonin, and then some people might end up titrating up the dose, and then that leads to some grogginess and sluggishness into the next day, but you're dependent on it because otherwise you can't sleep, and then it makes travel tricky because you have to bring it with you. It's just a big deal. Just be careful.
Ah, bro, look how big these are, no? Anabolic blueberries.
Quite similar to the video I did on how I make my oatmeal. I also used peanut butter instead of almond butter, and also the blueberries. The peanut butter and the blueberries, decent quantities of antioxidants, takes good care of your body. There's decent micronutrients between the three with the oats. It's pretty good stuff.
Really hungry because I was meant to have my breakfast 1 hour and a half ago, but somebody was late. Bon appetit.
Nice, he's having some extra fruit there, dude. Bodybuilders actually eating fruit. That's honestly, like, why is it so uncommon? So, fair play.
Yes, second meal about to go down, which is also my pre-workout meal. So we have some chicken thighs, boneless, skin off. I like to change from chicken breast to chicken thighs because it's a bit more juicier and tastier. And I know it has a little bit more fat, but it's okay. We are still far out of the competition, so we can eat this right now. A little bit of olive oil, Italiano, fratello. And then we have some paprika. I love paprika. Makes it a little bit crispy and tastier. Some black pepper and some pink salt. We're gonna be cooking this in an air fryer. This has been a lifesaver for me for years, especially when I'm prepping. It's just super easy, you know, to cook. This in prep, I feel for some reason, the more I eat asparagus on prep, the drier it gets me. I feel like it works as a diuretic for me. I don't know if it's just in my mind, but I like to believe that it works. Not too much because it's a pre-workout meal and I don't want to get too full. We have 220 grams of jasmine rice, and then it was 240 raw weight, and then when I measured it, it's only 150.
So, a few things going on here. Firstly, it's kind of funny. It's like the evolved version of chicken, broccoli, and rice. It's chicken thigh with long broccoli and rice. So, what's going on here? Yes, chicken thigh tastes a lot better than chicken breast. If you're sick of chicken breast, no one really likes chicken breast, to be honest. Like, if you like chicken breast, you just haven't had chicken thigh. More fat in there, more fat in the olive oil. I like that he's not avoiding fat. People do when they're trying to cut because it's like, oh, it's so calorie dense because it's 9 calories per gram as opposed to 4 for carbs and protein, but you still need it, otherwise your hormones go all out of whack, your testosterone levels crash, particularly if you're natty because he'll be injecting. But anyway, asparagus, he's saying it's a bit of a diuretic. That's because it has asparagine, which I think is called that because it's in asparagus asparagine, which is a mild diuretic. It's an amino acid, so that's probably what's happening there. He's also saying he doesn't want to be too full because this is a pre-workout meal. Honestly, I would probably push this meal a bit back or make it part of the first one and then just have a really carb-dense thing, because there are some carbs here, but not a crazy amount. There's some in the rice, but it's absorbing a bit slowly because it's a large meal, and the larger the meal is and the more fat there is, the slower it digests, and you want those carbs into your system quickly so you can reap the performance benefits. So, few issues there. I don't think you need to be chasing vegetables and protein pre-workout. There's not really going to be a performance benefit there. It's more just getting the carbs in, but we'll carry on.
Okay, getting ready for my post-workout meal, which is 100 grams of cornflakes, no sugar, organic. It's actually organic, bro. Why are you laughing? I'll show you the box.
Make sure you show me.
Then we got 2 scoops of whey isolate from ProSubs, chocolate ice cream flavor, with a little bit of coconut milk, no sugar added. You guys have to try this, for real.
Okay, so what do you want post-workout? Micronutrients are less of a factor. The main thing you want in is carbs and protein. It doesn't have to be an insane amount, which is kind of what he's doing here. He's just making this ASAP. It's quick to make. Get the protein, get the carbs in to stimulate some of those growth pathways, your muscle protein synthesis, IGF-1, growth hormone signaling, all the good stuff. You can get this in and then spend a bit more time making the meal he makes afterwards. So following the laws of sports nutrition here.
So this is my fourth meal of the day. I count the post-workout meal, the cornflakes, as a meal. So this is my fourth meal of the day.
If you wait too long post-eating, it can cause a bit of a cortisol spike, and this cortisol spike can happen a little bit earlier for women actually. So for women, probably make sure you get that post-workout meal in within probably the hour. I doubt there's many women watching this channel, but anyway.
For the change, we're gonna have some potatoes.
So you're gonna bake it?
I'm gonna put it in the air fryer. $160 chicken, 210 potatoes, and probably like, I don't know, 40 grams of asparagus, all cooked weight. Meal number 4.
Similar meal to before, he's just swapping out the white rice for potatoes. So I won't comment too much here. I would like to see a little bit more variety, but that can be quite helpful for your gut microbiome, particularly with things like the fibrous foods like the asparagus there. But anyway, it's not a terrible meal. Everything's kind of fine here. If you do love fries, don't eat them too much because, you know, deep frying things in seed oils, pro-inflammatory, and there's not really any nutrition to them. But if you have regular potatoes and you cut them up and dry them like he did, put some olive oil on them, put them in the air fryer, and then add, you know, your mayonnaise and whatever. Not too bad for you. Actually kind of fine, and it tastes pretty good, man. Especially you put some seasoning on there, dude. Oh yeah.
Okay guys, this is my last meal of the day. It's 10:30, so we are having a big salad right here. No carbs this meal. We have some avocado, half of avocado just for healthy fats. And we got some citrus. Really light meal. And this is my last meal of the day. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And
okay, so last meal there is pretty simple. Avocado's fine, white fish, you know, fine too. Nothing wrong with salad. So not too much I can comment on there, but the main thing I would comment on is, like, he got in from the gym and it was already dark, and then he had that cornflakes meal, then another meal, and then another meal, and it's 10:30 now, and he was saying before he's having some issues with sleeping, so I suppose that might be partly because of it. If you are on anabolics, it can harm your sleep. If you are on prep, it can harm your sleep. If you're eating late into the night, it can also make it a little bit harder to get to sleep and theoretically harm your sleep quality as well. So I suppose you could just bring this forward, backward into, like, he's big enough, he could probably eat that as part of the other meal and just kind of reel things in. I like to try and distance that last meal from sleep as much as possible to maintain sleep quality. That's probably something you could do. Another work on maybe would be just to have more carb-dense foods, as I said before, in the pre-workout meal. That I'm sure that would give him a bit more performance enhancement in the gym, which would be quite good for him. If we're talking about the fiber that I mentioned earlier, his fiber is actually not too bad. He's getting some from the potatoes, the asparagus, it's not a crazy amount, but it's enough to where I probably wouldn't be saying he'd be deficient in those gut microbiome bacteria that would metabolize the fiber. So probably just a personal thing going on for him there. Altogether, pretty good diet. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more variety with the vegetables, but, you know, that's fine. I'm nitpicking here. This is honestly way better than most of the bodybuilder diets that I've done in the past, like the Micro Zertel one, dude. That was bad. That was really bad. But yeah, this was pretty good. Fair play. Let me know what your thoughts are below. I will see you in the next video.